The fallout after a scathing report on the Uvalde, Texas school shooting. Now, the most important stories from across the country and here at home. The impact crime without punishment has on families.
People that are worried about a potential recession.
Financial tips we can all live by.
Hope drives a lot of the good things in the world.
Plus, the positive and the inspirational. I'm Tom Hansen. First to your local news.
Scattered storms in our area tonight, plus a heat wave's on the way. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Hughes. Our meteorologist Eric Fisher has a first look at your forecast. Eric?
Hey there, Lisa. Yeah, we had one round a little earlier on today. Some lucky towns getting over a half-inch of rainfall. We certainly could use it. Tonight, watching another round that's just moving in from the west. This will be the last one. This is the actual cool front that's making its way on east. Some heavier rainfall now entering the Monadnock region, and you notice some of those downpours. Even a little thunder and lightning mixing it in across Connecticut, and that extends back in the Hudson Valley. All this will push east, and a decent amount of it should hold together to the coastline overnight. So a chance for a little more rainfall while we wait. Very humid. Dew points are up into the 70s. And so kind of our rainforest tropical feel out there tonight. As we look through the next few hours, line continues to push east. After 1 o'clock, it should start to dry out. By tomorrow morning, we may start with a bit of low cloudiness, especially south of Boston. But skies will clear, and then we turn our attention from stormy weather to hot weather. In fact, this will be our hottest week of the year so far. We'll start the day in the low 70s, then hot July sun will get us into the low 90s during the afternoon. Not as humid as today, but still noticeable in a westerly breeze that will push some of that warm air right to the coastline. So as we look at the next 5 days, a chance to be 90 plus right on through in many towns away from the immediate shoreline here. All summer long, we've been hard pressed to see many days hit 90 whatsoever. So we're not really acclimated yet. We want to plan to take it easy out there. Make sure you're staying hydrated, busy for camps and outdoor activity. We don't want to deal with too many issues. Right now, it looks like our hottest days will be on Wednesday and Thursday, although at this time, it doesn't look like records are going to be in jeopardy. But this 90-plus streak will head right to the weekend. We'll take a look at that forecast in a bit. Lisa?
All right, Eric, thanks. Well, now we know the heat is on every day, tomorrow through Saturday, expected to be above 90. And we also know that can be dangerous. WBZ's Julie McDonald is in Boston with a look at the preparations underway right now to keep people safe.
Communities across the good neighbor, check on the people in your life who are elderly or perhaps have special needs. In Roslindale, Julie McDonald, WBZ News.
Some good advice there. Julie, thanks. Tenants in Worcester want to know where they'll live and who will pay their rent days after their building's roof collapsed and they evacuated. Today, a resident who lived near the center of that collapse showed WBZ's Christina Hager what she's left with now.
I lost everything, I lost everything.
With attorneys looking into a possible lawsuit against the owner of this building. In Worcester, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
Well, the Red Sox now say Chris Sale is on the mend after having a procedure today to reset his broken finger. The Sox called it a successful surgery on the pitcher's pinky, performed at an outpatient center in Wellesley. But the team did not say how long Sale will be out. He broke his finger yesterday when he was hit by a line drive at Yankee Stadium. Frustrated flyers in Boston, you are definitely not alone. A new report finds that this summer, Logan Airport is one of the worst in the country for delays and cancellations. The flight tracking site FlightAware looked at data from airports all over the country, and with 3.6% of its flights canceled, Logan came in as the 8th worst. This top 10 list also includes several airports in Florida and the New York area. Newark was #1. Tonight, there is very good news for you families planning summer vacations that you're going to be driving to. Gas prices dropped 11 cents in Massachusetts last week to a statewide average of $4.63 a gallon. Now, that's a decline that's directly linked to lower oil prices globally. And we should point out that drivers in Massachusetts, even when our prices drop, are still paying more, a dime more, than the national average. You're taking a live look now across the city. Beautiful picture tonight, but it's soupy out there. Eric is tracking those scattered storms and the approaching heat wave. We're going to have his full forecast coming up.
We go now to Uvalde and that scathing report on the police response. New details tonight on what state lawmakers are calling egregious poor decision making. The mayor there releasing a 77-page document on the murder of those 19 children and 2 teachers. The report citing systemic failures.
Oh, shots fired! Get inside! Go, go, go! Take cover, guys. Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding?
Tonight, the newly released body cam footage giving a clearer account of the critical moments officers arrive.
That's my wife's classroom. He's already in the classroom. He got me, right?
One officer grazed by a bullet minutes after the shooter enters the classrooms. The 77-minute edited video showing confusion among the officers with conflicting information about the shooter's location. The nicknamed school shooter on social media because of violent threats he would make against others. And tonight, outrage and sadness from the families of the victims.
The police failed us. The school system failed us. Those failures costed our son his life.
The report also says lives could have been saved if police had acted sooner. To Indiana now, in America's ongoing epidemic of gun violence. Another mass shooting, this time at a mall food court. The 20-year-old suspect there opening fire on 5 people, leaving 3 dead and 2 hurt. Police say the suspect walked to the mall from his home armed with 2 rifles, a handgun, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. A bystander shot and killed the gunman.
Many more people would have died last night if not for a responsible armed.
Turning now to the trial of former Trump advisor Steve Bannon. Jury selection is underway, and Bannon is accused of ignoring a subpoena by the January 6th committee. He has pleaded not guilty. And when we come back, the shocking rise in unsolved murders. Our investigation to answer why.
Stay ahead of summer storms with Eric Fisher and WBZ's Next Weather. Download the CBS Boston News app or stream live anytime on any device.
Now to the shocking rise in unsolved murders in America. The FBI reporting cases solved in the U.S. have plunged to their lowest point in 50 years. Andrea Lucia now with one family searching for answers in our series, Crime Without Punishment.
News now.
Some powerful reporting there, and we asked the current leadership at both the Dallas and Fort Worth police departments to talk with us about their murder clearance rates. Both declined. Throughout the week, we will continue our series Crime Without Punishment to show you the reasons for unsolved murders across the country, and tomorrow we'll go to Chicago, where solving a murder doesn't always lead to a charge. And up next on Now, the wildfires tearing across parts of Europe, fueled by that brutal heat. Colin Myers will tell us when relief could come.
And after the break, more on the Yosemite wildfire. Some good news there, but still watching that heat continuing across the country. Why is this continuing? We'll have that answer next.
Wake up.
I'm in a long time. We've had a couple storms here and there, but a day that actually felt like something all day, where we had some clouds, some moisture around. There are still some showers out there tonight. You can see some of them pushing their way into southern New Hampshire, and this is part of a cold front that is still draped off to our west. Still some downpours, some showers, and thunder mixed in there. And as this pushes east overnight, there'll still be a chance to squeeze out a little bit more rainfall and a very humid night. Dew points are up in the 70s. Today was our most humid day of the year so far, easily. Here's a look at the hour by hours we had through the overnight. Still that chance for a passing shower or downpour, maybe even hearing a rumble of thunder. Not every town will see one, but a chance to add for the lawns and the gardens. And then tomorrow morning we'll start clearing out from west to east. So tonight's temperatures holding in the 70s, that early shower storm chance. And then tomorrow, after any early morning fog and clouds, we're talking mostly sunny skies, and we go from stormy weather to hot weather, hitting the low 90s tomorrow afternoon. And this will kick off a heat wave in many towns, the first one of the season so far. The Cape and the islands will be our local cool spots, if you will. Wednesday looks like the hottest day of the week. Some middle 90s, maybe even some upper 90s possible there. And then our most humid day, along with our best storm chance for the rest of the week, will be on Thursday. Another very steamy afternoon. Dew points mostly in the 60s for the next 2 days, but Thursday they'll climb above 70 again. And Thursday's our best opportunity for some strong to perhaps severe thunderstorms. So if you have any plans during the afternoon and the evening, we're going to be watching the skies there very carefully. Now, it gets drier as we head into Friday, but not much cooler. Highs still in the low 90s, and we're close to 90 this weekend on both Saturday and Sunday. There could be an isolated storm popping up either afternoon, but certainly no washouts, and Monday brings another return chance for some thunderstorms to make their way back in.
For everything news and everything Boston, join Lisa Hughes, David Wade, Eric Fisher, and Steve Burton. WBZ News every night at 11.
Many sunglasses may...
Overseas now to that dangerous heat wave across Europe, the searing temps leading to hundreds of deaths and fueling wildfires. In Spain, people taking matters into their own hands, fighting the flames themselves. And across France, more than 5,000 acres scorched, forcing more than 16,000 people to evacuate. In the UK, Wales recorded its hottest day ever. And across Europe, at least 26 cities broke their all-time records. Back here at home now to that strong heat dome, pushing record highs in at least 6 states tonight. 50 million Americans facing temps topping 100 degrees. Meteorologist Colin Myers is following that for us. Hey there, Colin.
Hi, Tom. Yeah, you're exactly right. And the one fire we're watching, still all eyes on the Washburn fire. Now, this is the Yosemite National Park fire, still right here, right next to that high pressure. Now, what we're seeing with this, most of this activity is actually starting to be contained. So now up to 50% contained. That's good news. But let's look at the heat and what's causing it. This high pressure, this meteorologist Brittany Rennie. We'll be back after this.
Got a consumer problem?
Journalist with a great career, starting a family. The only way we found out I had any kind of heart issue was when I went into sudden death. My coworkers sprung into action. They'd recently been trained in life-saving CPR protocols developed by the American Heart Association.
Families demanding justice in the Parkland school shooter sentencing.
The murders were cold, calculated, and premeditated.
Wild waves crashing a wedding in Hawaii. Do-it-yourself ultrasounds.
It's made me less anxious about the pregnancy. It's made me more excited.
And inspiring hope in your community.
Hope is strength. Hope is optimism.
To Florida now in the final phase of sentencing in the trial of Nicholas Cruz, the Parkland school shooter. The 12 jurors will decide whether Cruz should get the death sentence or life in prison without parole. The 23-year-old pleaded guilty to murdering 14 students and 3 employees at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in 2018. Legal experts say the fact that the crime was premeditated will be tough for the defense to overcome.
Not only did this young man, plan it and think about it and act it out in a manner that is consistent with someone who's planned it and thought about it, but he actually posted 2 videos on social media describing exactly what he's going to do.
All symptoms include fever, body aches, chills, and fatigue. As of right now, there are no deaths in the U.S. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, announcing plans of the top stories from around the country and the world tonight. Now some of the moments that matter most in your community and your neighborhood.
Until just a few minutes ago, we had a tornado warning which just expired in Cheshire County, New Hampshire. Meteorologist Eric Fisher is here now with the details. Eric? All right, we'll see you then. A state lawmaker is suggesting it may be time to consider abolishing the MBTA. The much smaller creature now, dozens of beagles are headed to Massachusetts. Workers at a Starbucks in Boston are on strike. As you see on the radar here, they're still in our area, and we have a heat wave ahead this week. His full next weather forecast is coming up.
Now to that tragedy in the skies. 2 small planes colliding in midair in Las Vegas, both aircrafts hitting the ground before bursting into flames. The FAA now investigating the cause and saying that the crash happened when one plane was trying to land and collided with the other. There were no survivors.
This is coming over for sure.
This video gives Wedding Crasher a whole new meaning. And to the dust storm in Montana causing a massive car pileup over the weekend. More than 20 cars involved and now 6 people have died. Some drivers described the scene as frightening and also very hard to see the road, saying it was almost like wearing sepia-covered glasses. And moving on to the dangerous heat wave scorching parts of the world. Portugal on high alert, reaching a...
Climate change has everything to do with the extreme weather that we're seeing at...
Temps across the country, triple digits for the southeast all the way to the Great Plains. Meteorologist Brittany Rennie joins us now to show us both the global and local impact. Hi, Brittany.
Hi, Tom. We've been talking all about the ridge of high pressure over the U.S. Well, that's the same reason that they're seeing this heat wave in Western Europe. See this here? That's the ridge of high pressure.
Is on the way in the near future. Thanks, Brittany. All right, still ahead, teaching pregnant women how to perform their own ultrasounds, how new research could save the lives of mothers and their babies. Plus, preparing for a possible recession. How much do you set aside right now? That's after the break.
Be prepared.
Parents to see their developing babies in utero anytime, anywhere. Now Northwestern Medicine and Google have teamed up to try and make an ultrasound cheaper, more portable and accessible to all pregnant people around the world. Lauren Ratliff is getting a tutorial on how to personally use an ultrasound device connected to a tablet. On the screen, her baby.
I was able to move up and down, see a lot of the baby, and it was quick and really easy.
Researchers with Northwestern Medicine and Google Help hope to use videos from do-it-yourself ultrasounds to create a form of artificial intelligence that can determine fetal age, position, and even life-threatening conditions without the need for a trained technician.
In some low and middle income countries, we know that just differentiating a pregnancy inside the uterus from one outside the uterus is a really important early use of ultrasound.
Time now for Money Now and the growing concerns over a recession. All week, we're going to show you how to prepare, and tonight, emergency savings and how much you should set aside. There, and if you're self-employed, Kendall recommends having at least 6 months of expenses saved up for a dual income household, 9 to 12 months if you are single. And our conversation continues tomorrow night. We'll take a closer look at reducing credit card debt, something you'll want to do ASAP as the Fed considers increasing interest rates.
I think hope.
Tuesday on W. Good evening, everyone. We had a bit of stormy weather this afternoon for the first time. It gets drier as we head into Friday, but not much cooler. Highs still in the low 90s, and we're close to 90 this weekend on both Saturday and Sunday. There could be an isolated storm popping up either afternoon, but certainly no washouts, and Monday brings another return chance for some thunderstorms to make their way back in.
Finally tonight, to our segment on the power of hope. Each night we'll take you on an inspiring journey to show you the good that is the glue connecting our neighborhoods, our cities, and our humanity. But why is hope important, and what does it mean now? We get answers from across the country.
Hope means...
Without hope, I feel like, you're not motivated, you're not happy. If I didn't have hope, I wouldn't even want to wake up in the morning.
Because if a person does...
We can all use a little more hope these days. And every night we want you to experience the power of hope and how it resonates with people in your communities. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to try to take a break from the world and see the good things around you. Have a great night, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow.
For everything news and everything Boston, join Lisa Hughes, David Wade, Eric Fisher, and Steve Burton. WBZ News every night at 11.